All right, guys, so I'm going to try and record this video for like the 10th time. I keep starting it, stopping it. I feel like when I'm going through talking about these that it feels like I'm trying to sell you something. I want to start the video with saying, watching my content, I don't want it to ever seem like I'm telling you you need to buy something. I'm never trying to point you in the direction of something you should buy. Always just do things based off what you think fits your needs. I don't know why I wanted to start the video this way, but I just keep going back and listening to what I'm saying, and I'm like, stop making it seem like you're marketing for these companies. You don't need to do this. You just need to talk about the product, your experience with it, some of the features that it has, and just kind of move on from it. So if you do follow the channel, you've probably noticed a lot lately we've talked about clip-on style earbuds. It's become very popular for good reason. It allows you to just kind of listen to what you're listening to. You can still hear things around you. I think it benefits a lot of people because if you work in I don't know, we'll just say like an office environment, it allows you to still hear people around you. And if you're going out for a walk or riding a bike and you're going to be anywhere where there's traffic, it allows you to still hear traffic around you so that you don't, get your ass ran over if you're out on the road. Again, very beneficial. But on the channel, we have actually checked out a lot of premium earbuds lately, some of the more expensive ones. And a lot of you guys in the comment section said that I need to check out the Soundpeats Pop Clip. You just said from a value standpoint, there's a lot to offer here. There's a lot of value. And again, if you follow the channel, you'll notice that that's something I usually try to focus on, something I feel like is giving you a lot for your money. And Soundpeats is pretty well known for this, so I kind of expected this. But from a price standpoint, these do come in retailing at $39, which is already low. But because it was just released, there's a box you can check off on Amazon, and there's also a coupon code, which I'll have all of this in the description, where you can actually pick these up for only $27. And so this is about $100 less than some of the other ones that we've checked out lately. So that already intrigued me to see kind of how it stacks up against those and what kind of features these have. And starting with that, it does have Bluetooth 5.4, which is nice. It does have a pretty interesting design. It's using a ball at the end, which has the speaker that's pointed in the direction of your ear canal. I'm not a huge fan of the ball look itself. It kind of just looks like an earring, which it already kind of looks like an earring because it's going around your ear. But the flexibility that these have and the way that you're able to just kind of bend them around your ears and things like that, it's a very flexible pair. It's very comfortable, but it still has a really good grip where it doesn't move around. This is huge in this type of design because you don't want to wear a pair like this out running and feeling like it's bouncing up and down or moving, where you feel like you have to kind of adjust these. And another thing that I really liked about them is it's using button controls. I think this is important in a style like this because a lot of people, because of the way that it sits, are going to feel like they need to move these things around. And for whatever reason, using touch controls, you're going to accidentally do, things that you don't want them to do. So I do like the fact that they have button controls. And I do also like the fact that it allows you to control everything. Now, out of the box, it doesn't have the volume control on it, so you do have to go in their app and kind of switch some things around. But it is nice that you can go in the app to do this because a lot of the more inexpensive ones don't even have an app that you can control anything. So speaking on that, I am going to say that I do recommend downloading the app because it will allow you to keep these updated. It does have some EQ options that are already pre-built in. You can also go in and customize the EQ settings the way that you want. And it also has adaptive EQ, where it will just give you an EQ based off some of the little hearing tests that it allows you to go through. So again, not something I expected in a pair this inexpensive. Now, some other options that it has within the app is it does have a gaming mode. So if you are going to be gaming or watching a movie or TV show, this will just kind of help you cut down on lag, but this will also cut down your battery life. But there's also a movie mode that I don't even recommend turning on at all. This is kind of their spatial audio. This is supposedly giving you a lot more depth in what you're listening to, but in my opinion, this just destroys the audio altogether. It is definitely bumping up the mid, so it is bringing dialogue a little bit more forward, but it is just destroying everything else. But some other things that it does have that I think is very interesting is it has a drainage feature. Now these come in rated at IPX5, so they're not waterproof, but if you do happen to get some water in these, the drainage feature kind of acts like the Apple Watch does, where it kind of has this vibration where it's trying to shake or push the water out of the earbuds. And I think this again is just a nice touch, and I haven't seen this personally on any other earbud like this. And another feature that I didn't expect to see in an earbud in this price range is it has the Find My Earbuds feature. So it has where it'll play a tone if it's somewhere near you. You can actually hear, like if it's stuck in the couch or something like that. But it will also show you on a map the last place that you had these when you were connected. And again, not a feature you would see on an earbud in this price range. Now, as far as what all comes inside the box, this is very simple. It only comes with a USB-C cable, which you will need to charge these because it doesn't support wireless charging. And speaking of the charging, the battery life is actually pretty good on these. And I think it kind of has to be because an earbud like this that's made to be worn all day, you need to get some decent battery life out of. And luckily, on a full charge, you can get about 8 hours on the earbuds. And with the charging case, you're looking at about 30 hours total. And another huge plus is it does have a fast charging feature. So if you do happen to pick your earbuds up and they are dead, a 15-minute charge will get you about 3 hours of use. Now, if you are going to use these for phone calls, I was a little concerned about this at first because each earbud only had one microphone, but this design was actually on purpose. This is to reduce any kind of wind noise from affecting your microphone. So if you're on a phone call, especially if you're on a phone call outdoors, it's not going to pick up wind as much, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is a mic test using the Soundpeats pop clip. Today, it's a really windy day, and I think this is like the perfect time to test how well these microphones are doing in this type of environment. But this is really just to give you an idea of what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. And the sound on these I found to be very impressive, especially for its price range. Now, is this going to compete with earbuds or headphones, like the earbuds that have silicone ear tips, or headphones where the ear pads are surrounding your ears? No. And this style of earbud is never going to compete with either one of those. So if you are a bass head and you're expecting subwoofer type bass, that's just not what this style can do. But the pop clip was actually pretty surprising in the bass impact that it has. It is pretty fast. It's not a bass that kind of sits around. And the dynamic bass is actually turned on in the app by default. And this is allowing you to kind of hear bass or feel bass even at lower volumes. So again, I was really impressed with what it did here. I kind of expected these to have that tinny sound that a lot of clip-on style earbuds have. And I wasn't expecting much in this price range, but I put these up against some of the more expensive ones, and surprisingly, they definitely held their own. From the bass side all the way to the mids, which had a slight elevation to it. So vocalists, if it were in a chaotic genre or easy listening or country, just always kind of sounded like they were a little up front. Treble had this nice clean approach. Now, this isn't a harsh sounding treble. It's not overly bright or anything like that. I would actually say this has a slight warmth overall. It kind of has more of a fuller body to the sound. Again, this is not something I was expecting. I was expecting it to be tinny or be just overly bright and just had the mids pushed way too forward, because that's kind of noticed that's what a lot of these style of earbuds do. So these were pretty surprising when it came to the sound. And another thing that's not really surprising is the sound stage and sound imaging. This is where this type of design really shines. It really makes you feel like you're in a very large area because these are open, and it does a really good job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. So my overall opinion on these, and to wrap this video up, is yeah, from a value standpoint, the $27 sale makes these a no-brainer. And I honestly think even at $39, this is definitely a pair that I recommend checking out first if you're looking into this style of earbuds and you don't want to spend a whole lot, because I do feel like it matches up with some of the more expensive ones. Now, it doesn't have some of the features that the other ones do, but they do have to kind of cut corners here and there to offer these as low as they are. The huge plus is they sound great. The battery life is allowing you to use these all day. They're comfortable, so you can wear these all day. I'm not a huge fan of the design. Again, I just don't like the little ball. But again, looks on headphones don't really mean much, because some of the best sounding headphones I've ever tested are some of the ugliest headphones that I've ever tested. So if you are in the market for these, again, it is a pair that I recommend. If you are interested, I will have this linked in the description. But guys, that wraps up my video on the Soundpeats Pop clip-on style earbuds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.